Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the 3X Value Growth Podcast. My name is Carrie Sauls, Value Growth Advisor and author of the bestseller, Multiply Your Business Value in 3 Steps. The 3X Value Growth Podcast is a forum for you to hear from experts who can help your business to ensure that you can reach your full potential. Tune in to hear from these experts about what owner-led companies need now to break the code on maximizing the value of their business in any economy. I'm coming to you from New Hampshire, and as always, I start with a piece of New Hampshire trivia. The 2 points I just wanted to make today have to do with who we are. The state of New Hampshire is often known as the Granite State, so that's our nickname. And in addition, you probably have seen it on our license plate, but our New Hampshire motto is live free or die. So that's just trivia about New Hampshire. And since there's so many interesting things about New Hampshire, I figure we can add a little bit each episode. But today I am joined by Holly Duckworth. Welcome, Holly.
Hello, Carrie. Thanks for having me. One more trivia piece for you is New Hampshire is one of my states I haven't yet visited, and I can't wait to get there.
Oh, then you've got a treat in store. Absolutely. Whether you come in the spring for maple sugaring, you come in the fall for the leaves, or any time for the mountains. It's a great place for you have to come here. Definitely. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling in from Denver, Colorado.
From Colorado. Well, you've got mountains of your own. So
we do, but every mountain brings its own magic and energy.
You've got that right. Definitely. Before we get started, let me give our audience a little bit of background about you, Holly. Holly Duckworth believes we are human beings, not human doings. As CEO of Leadership Solutions International, she teaches leaders how to bridge the personal practice of mindfulness into your profitable business culture. She's the founder of the C-Suite Network Mindful Leadership Council, and she's also a New York Times contributor and the producer and host of the Everyday Mindfulness Show. Thank you, Holly. You are a busy woman.
Well, Carrie, thanks for inviting me on the show. It's an exciting time for growing mindfulness. My ideal client is really a CEO or an executive that in these dynamic and transformative times, they're feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, or maybe they're feeling alone. Now, we've got a certain percentage of our workforce working from home. So mindfulness is really the practice of being present in the moment, and it helps these overwhelmed executives.
Well, that's perfect. You just gave me the lead into the title that we wanted to really be digging deeper into of overcoming leadership stress through that mindfulness. So when you're thinking about who is experiencing this, who would be your target audience that could identify with what you just described?
You know, I generally say my ideal client is someone who works in an industry that is 24/7 and hugs. So while mindfulness will serve anyone, it's generally someone who maybe already has a mindfulness practice, visioning, meditation, affirmations, but they're overwhelmed, they're exhausted, and they're looking to bring mindfulness practices into that state of overwhelm.
Then my second question, Holly, is what problem are you actually solving for these businesses, for these owners?
Right now, more than anything, so many of us have lost that long-term vision. With all of these economic changes creating economic uncertainty, we may have started 2020 with a 2020 business plan. We thought we were going to produce this many widgets or impact this many customers. Right now, I'm working with CEOs and executive teams to create that vision again and to bring them back into focus of what we can control and what we can create, rather than what maybe has to be let go for now.
And in that context, with who you're speaking with, what are the typical symptoms of that you see owners experiencing or that they're talking about right now?
Carrie, I love this question. I've been interviewed by so many podcast executives and have never been asked this. And I think it speaks to the feeling nature that right now we need to get back into our bodies. And someone that is having these symptoms may just not be sleeping at night. They may feel isolated or exhausted. Maybe they're working long hours and they're finding themselves distant from family or friends.
So with that in mind, what do you see are the most common mistakes that these owners and executives are making when they try to fix this on their own?
Mistakes often are rushing to judgment, the idea of reacting versus responding. And so I think one of the key things that we can do as mindful leaders going forward is take that extra moment to breathe, to relax, to center, to focus, and maybe listen a little bit, not only to our own intuition, but the intuition and the data of our teams to create those focused results that are going to get this economy spinning forward in the right and perfect time.
Okay, then building on that, Holly, what is one valuable free action that you can suggest that owners could take right now on their own?
Well, I really loved this as well. We talk about breathing and grounding and centering, but right now I think it's feeling into your own intuition. That's free and can get really clear about what is it that you are feeling and how do you want to put your energy in motion. So one of the things that I do is really invite people in my books and my work to set a daily intention practice and maybe just keep a little journal at your desk. Today, my intention is peace. My intention is joy. My intention is calm. And each and every day practice that.
And you just answered part B of that question was how, and that's just keeping a journal of it and being conscious that that's what you want to be doing each day. That's great. So in addition, with your plethora of resources, what's one valuable free resource that you could recommend that our audience turn to that you offer?
Well, one thing I wanted to share is it's on hollyduckworth.com under shop. It is free, however. There's a little tab there that says Mindful Mini Posters. And this is an 8.5 by 11 one sheet that goes over the 7 practices to be a mindful leader, no matter what your industry or organization. So it starts with that idea of intention setting, but then gives you a little practice each and every day. And that's under hollyduckworth.com under shop. Again, it's a complimentary gift from me under Mindful Mini Posters.
Well, terrific. Thank you for that. And Holly, before we close out, my last question has to do with what question should I have asked you and didn't? What would be that question and what would be your answer?
I think you have such a great show here. One of those questions is, beyond breathing. I think right now there's just a real focus on breathing. What's one other practice you could do, beyond breathing and gratitude? And I think right now it is that practice of centering. Take a moment every day and remember your center. That very first day you took this job, you started your career, that passion and that excitement, and continue to grow that practice because that will keep you in the present moment with passion that will create profits, peace, and presence for your company.
Would you repeat that last sentence?
Passion, peace, and presence for your company.
That's a great one. Definitely. Thank you, Holly Duckworth, for joining me here on the 3X Value Growth Podcast. It's such a privilege to have you, and thank you for taking the time.
You're welcome.
The mission we set for the 3X Value Growth Podcast is to make critical information available to owners of private businesses that will help them easily multiply the value of their business. The 3X Value Growth system we offer leverages our proprietary analytics, platform, and client portal to address quantitative, performance excellence, and risk factors to increase EBITDA. To learn how you can multiply the value of your business threefold in just 3 years, check out 3xvaluegrowth.com/model for a free PDF. You'll be invited to attend our next demo of the 3X Value Growth Program on a free monthly webinar of what works in the lower middle market. Thanks for checking out our 3X Value Growth Podcast. If you like what we're doing here, head on over to Apple Podcasts and subscribe. Leave us a review or rate us. It's very much appreciated.